Okay, let's see how this goes with a longer recording. This is going to be a test run, which I may upload to YouTube just to see how it goes. My name's Paul. If you're here watching this video, you're either hopelessly lost in the algorithms of YouTube, or you believe in fate, maybe you're here for a reason. Time will tell. Uh, Seems obvious from the title. I had a waking up experience, which a little over 11 years ago. Um, this was after a very long spiritual search, which was pretty low key for the most part. Um, in this part of the southern United States, there weren't a lot of Eastern influences of any type. I had to just basically find books that you can download on your phone now within about a minute. It took me sometimes months to get them. So it's kind of a slow burn journey, as spiritual searches go. Ultimately, I went to a website 11 years ago where they do kind of an interaction between a guide and you're called a client, and utilize the resources of that site and woke up basically. I've since been involved in the non-dual movement marginally as a guide on this website, which I'm not going to mention the name right now. Um, my my contribution to non-duality has been largely in the form of research because that's what I'm good at. My former job as an attorney, research was a big part of it. So I'm well versed in the process. And when I say research, it's research basically trying to integrate the teachings, non-dual teachings from the Eastern religions into the framework of modern psychology, with a specific focus on the mechanism of belief, because it is the belief in the separate self that is basically the basis of a lot of human suffering. Not all of it, but a lot of it. Um, a lot of people come to the non-dual movement complaining of their thoughts being so annoying. Specifically, it's self-referential thoughts, critical thoughts, self-criticism. Oh, you're not good enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too this, you're too that, you're not a good person. Basically, stuff that really isn't their own thoughts on any existential level. Mostly it's just like an old tape recording of things people have told you in the past, who have criticized you. You think about it, you don't just wake up one day and start self-criticizing. That's not the nature of human existence. We we just repeat what other things are. And the thing that most people don't look at in depth is that, first of all, was what this person said that's playing in a continuous or intermittent loop in your head, was it actually true at the time? If it was true at the time, okay, maybe it was valid criticism. But is it still true now? Or is it just an old remnant that needs to be deleted somehow? The other possibility is it wasn't even true at the time. Someone had an agenda, and putting you down made them feel better in some way. This is particularly true in um, old jilted romantic partners. A lot of things are said in breakups that may or may not be true. It supports someone else's agenda. So a lot of this self-criticism is probably unjustified, but that doesn't make it any less powerful. And even the recognition that It may or may not have been true at the time, or it may have been just someone else's agenda. Maybe that'll help dampen the physiological effects. Maybe not. Because that's what it's all about. Suffering is largely how does my body react to this self-criticism? Um, the sensations in the body, the tightness, the contractions when this is all going on, and I had a person one time refer to it like a nagging spouse that you can't get away from. It's a pretty good analogy. At any rate, um, the reason I don't, this is my first actual content to the public at large. And the reason I've waited so long is because I never felt that up until now that I had anything to contribute really that many other content providers on the internet had. Um, as the base, as a result of the research I've been doing, though, in the last 2 or 3 years, I think I've come upon something that could prove to be a useful technique for waking people up. I mean, that's what it's all about. Now, lest you be confused about the terminology, this this term is used interchangeably with enlightenment, which I don't favor that word. Um, without getting into the particulars of it, enlightenment really goes beyond what I'm kind of referring to, which is what the Buddhists refer to as stream entry, or seeing through the first three fetters, and in a series of 10 fetters. The first three fetters being the coarse, most contracted state of belief in the separate self. And as you go up through the fetters, more and more subtle levels of identification that can be seen through. Um, what is enlightenment? You know, I guess Buddha would be what ultimate enlightenment is. If you're going for that, that's fine. I have found most people attain stream entry and find it an endpoint. You know, many people attain stream entry and get a good clear seeing and just go back to their life. The seeking stops. It's enough. A certain percentage pursue it farther, um, in a variety of ways. Many people nowadays, with the internet way being the way it is, many people choose to become content providers very quickly. I'm seeing a lot of young people that are having awakening experiences and becoming internet content providers practically immediately. Um, and I think it's a good thing. It makes this all seem more available to anyone, which is why I'm sitting here in my office, which is in my warehouse. No fancy background. I don't have a Buddha statue anywhere. I don't have an orange robe. Uh, the thing that made it most accessible to me, the thing that I watched years ago that made me realize this was accessible to anyone, and you didn't have to go to India and meditate in a cave for 20 years, was a simple video I watched of a young woman who's a nurse over in England, and she had been a spiritual seeker, and she went to a satsang one evening and listened to the speaker. Nothing much happened. And when she got up to leave, as she was walking out the door, she woke up and she was being interviewed and she wanted to remain anonymous. She didn't have anything to do with the non-dual world after that. She had a job as a nurse in England in a small town, kind of a religious town, standard Protestant Catholic mix, not really a non-dual element there. And she just wanted to do her job, keep a low key, and pretty much just be happy. And that was just a big factor in my realizing this is available to anyone. You don't have to have a long history. I don't have any history of meditation, going to satsangs, nothing other than just reading books up until maybe a year or so before my awakening when we got fast internet in this little town and a lot of this video stuff was available. Came across Eckhart Tolle and The Power of Now, which was pivotal. Um, and then came across another website, which finally did the trick pretty much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this video as a test and as a, if I review it and think it has something to offer to the public, I'll leave it up. And I'm going to put a website so that I can be booked for private Zoom sessions. I'm still working out the cobwebs on that. I'm not going to be charging anything at the beginning. It's just going to be kind of a test run. Right now, I have gainful employment, which provides income. If this were to ever begin taking too much of my time away from that, maybe I'd start charging. As of right now, I don't see it interfering because I'm going to be doing it on a very limited basis. So, having said that, if you're interested, um, keep an eye out. I'm going to put the link up. I'm going to try to put all this up today and see how it works. Um, check out the link and it will hopefully uh, work and we'll be able to make an appointment. I have my hours of availability on there and we can discuss whether you want to go forward with some one-on-one discussion or not. So if not, then have a nice day. Have a nice life. I wish you well in your pursuit. Um, there's so many resources available out there today. If you are involved in this pursuit, you will find what you're looking for, whether it comes by me or someone else. I'm constantly amazed at what is out there. So, if you're interested, I'll be around. Thank you very much.